friends. Okay, here's the other 20 pounds of chicken is in this canner right here. And I use it because I'm going to cook it till it's about 2/3 of the way done, just so I can get the meat off the bone. Real easy. And then I'm going to pack it in my jars. And over here, and I'll have a lot of broth, but over there I got some really nice stock going. And I'm going to mix it all in with this after I get the chicken out and, you know, get it put in the jars. Then I'm going to mix these two together, and I'm going to use that for the juice in the jars. And also, what's left over, I'm going to can separate. So, I'm going to have a lot of beautiful stock. This pan just contains the legs and thighs, and I did just the same thing that I did with the first 20 pounds. I cut them, I separated them from the leg from the quarter, and I cleaned it out and, took off all the schmutz and the tail and the fat. So, these are clean just like I showed you in my last video. They're all put in here. It's you can't see them in there, but they're all in there. And then I put all the skin and the tails and the bones and all the scraps except that little dish of schmutz. I threw that out. You don't want that in your stuff. That stuff I cleaned out of the leg quarter, we threw that out in the compost for the cats. They'll think they're in heaven. Anyway, so this is going to be absolutely wonderful. This has got to cook for probably, that's going to cook for probably about 3 hours. But my chicken, as soon as it's done enough to where I can take the meat off the bones, then I'll take the meat off the bones. And we'll go from there. I'll be back and I'll show you how that works. But this, friends, is going to be awesome. And I'll show you how I can it. Hey, friends, I got all that chicken cooked and deboned, and that's what I got, a nice big bowl of it. Now it's still warm, but it's not, hot. But my jars are screaming hot because I just got them out of the oven, and my broth that I finished up is hot. So we're good to go. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start filling my jars. Now I'm not going to pack them real tight because it's meat and it's dense, so you want to be able to have the heat, inside that meat get heated up during the processing, so it kills all the bacteria and anything that could cause bacteria. Okay. I don't want to touch these jars because they are hot. Okay. I love canning chicken this way, and I just love dark meat chicken. There. See, I'm bringing them to the top, but I'm not packing them, so to speak. That you don't want to do. Oh, let's see. I better put a little bit more in there. I don't need the funnel for the wide mouth ones. There's a good one. There's another one. Okay. at that. I just made a mess. I'll have enough for a few more jars, but I'll get these ones done and show you. And I'll prep some more jars. Now, my jars are clean and they're hot. They're sanitized. But when you are pressure canning, okay? If you're going to pressure can food or even water bath food that is going to process for more than 10 minutes, the USDA says you don't have to sterilize them, your jars, beforehand, like in boiling water and all that, because they will get sterilized during processing. So if you're going to do jams and jellies and you know, that only takes less than 5 minutes and sometimes not even processing, then you're going to want to sterilize or sanitize your jars. Most definitely. I'm just going to fit this last little bit in these. Okay. Put that one down in there. That is good. Okay, so we got that. Now I'm not going to add any salt. That is so hot. I am just going to start filling these with broth, and I want to stir that up a little bit. I can use this. All right. And this is the chicken broth from cooking it and the broth I made from the scraps. This stuff is wonderful. I got another whole pan of it. I got the rest of my pan over here up by the sink that's really hot, and then I got the other pan in my sun porch, so I'll have to reheat that and get that into jars so I can can that as well. Okay, now I'm going to debubble this, and I am just going to use, those jars are a little bit warm. You let all that trapped air out, and that will make the water decrease, or the juice. So we'll have to top it off a little bit. I usually do it with and leave a good 1/2 inch headspace. Okay, I think I already did that one. Okay, I'm going to top these up just a little bit. Alrighty. Okay, now I got my vinegar, because now that we got that topped up, we're going to want to take and wipe your rims off with vinegar. Make sure there's no debris on them so that you get a nice seal. Oh, look at here. I got a couple of little pieces right there. Okay. Okay, now, let's see, I'm going to put my wide mouth rings on. They're soaking in hot water, but they're not, it's not boiling. You don't have to boil these anymore. You don't recommend that anymore. Okay, now, when you put your rings on, you just put them on finger tight. If you tighten these too much, then air can get trapped between your food and the lid, and that's what will make it buckle. And you don't want that, so you only put them on fingertip tight. And don't tighten them afterwards, just leave them fingertip tight. Ooh, jars are a little warm. These are going to be wonderful. And then while these are in the canner, I'll get my broth canned up and ready to go. All right, there we have it. That's how simple that is to put together. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9. I got one canner load. Unless I was to double it, then I can hold 18 in mine. But anyway, that's one canner load. These are going to go in the canner, and they're going to process for 1 hour and 15 minutes, 75 minutes. So there you have it. When I get ready to get them in the canner, I will bring it back and show you that step. Hey friends, I've got all 9 of my pints in there, got my water in there, and I'm going to put a little bit of my vinegar in there, and that will keep your jars nice and from getting cloudy. We'll keep them nice and clean. We are going to put my top on, and sometimes this is a booger to get on. There. Now, like I always say, this has got to all heat up on the inside, and this has got to vent because it gets all the trapped air out of the canner. If you let this vent 10 minutes, a steady stream of steam. So when I get ready to put the jiggler on, I'll bring you back and I'll show you. Hey friends, my canner has been spewing steam for 10 minutes, and the reason why you have to let that do that is because it gets all the air out from inside the canner. That way it will pressurize. So, now that that's been going for 10 minutes, I'm going to stick my 10-pound weight on there, and once this starts to jiggle, I will time it for 75 minutes. And when it is done, I'll bring you back and show you how beautiful they turned out. There we go, friends. I got 9 beautiful little pints of dark meat chicken from the 20 pounds. And the others in the freezer. And I also did, with all the scraps from the bones and the skin and, all the scraps, I got 12 quarts of beautiful chicken stock as well. So, there you have it. That's how easy it is to can chicken. And I got a really good deal on it. So that's what I call canning on a budget. Thanks for watching, friends.